Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show. I'm back. I was out of town last week. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and New York. Somebody in New York gave me the sickies. I am no longer sick, though. Thank you, everybody, for your concern. I'm back at full strength. Also, this week I'll tell you a bit more about this after we talk to Lou, because Lou's up late. I feel bad. All right, let me tell you what we're talking about today. Here we go. Here we go. Today, we are talking about document intelligence. Hold on, let me make it more. Document intelligence. I feel like that makes it more, I don't know. There's a certain joie de vivre with the extra. Document intelligence and how it can help with retrieval augmented generation stuff. Hold on, this feels wrong. Stuff feels wrong. I think we need to write it in red. Stuff. There you go. Now it feels better. So that's what we're doing with Lou, the first half. And then number 2, numero dos. I'm trying to make it more international. I'll tell you about something called the Microsoft AI Tour, because right after the show, I hop, skip, and jump over to the airport, and I'm headed to Bengaluru, India. So if anyone is from India and wants to meet with me there, just say the word. As long as it's over food, I'm game. So that's what we're doing today. Pretty excited about that. So let me close this. Boop. You may have noticed also that we have we're on a new channel on the YouTube. So subscribe to that. That way you can hear of any news and stuff that's happening in the AI show. We plan on adding a ton more content on AI because things are a-changing. And I'm excited about that. Okay. So with that out of the way, I promised Lou we would get to her quickly. Lou, are you ready? Give me thumbs up. How you doing, Lou?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. And I'm so sorry you're up late. What time is it where you're at?
It's 12:30 a.m.
Oh!
I'm based in Beijing, by the way.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Lou's the best. By the way, when I'm in India next week, there's some meetings I'm going to take like at 3 in the morning.
Oh, 3 a.m.
Yes, and I have to
That
go to
would
them.
be terrible.
Like I know.
Okay.
But I will take a nap like you did, because you're a smart person and smart people take naps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. We recorded something last week, and Lou will be around to answer any questions. Are you ready for me to play it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, let me go here and let me find it. Here we go. Transforming RAG and search with AI, Azure AI Document Intelligence. Here we go. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show where we talk all about transforming RAG and search with Azure AI Document Intelligence with my friend Lou. Make sure you tune in. Hello, welcome to this episode of the AI Show where we're talking all about transforming RAG and search with Azure AI Document Intelligence. My friend Lou. Lou, it's been a while. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How is everything going with you, Seth?
Fantastic. So for those who don't know who you are, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name is Lu Zhang. I'm the product manager working on Azure AI Document Intelligence, formerly known as Azure Form Recognizer.
That's amazing. So before we get started, I know we've had shows on Azure AI Document Intelligence before, but I was hoping maybe you could give us a little overview real quick.
Sure. Azure AI Document Intelligence is a cloud-based AI service that can help you extract the text, key value pairs, tables, and the document structures from your any type of your documents. This is the Studio, a UX portal that you can explore the capabilities of the AI Document Intelligence. If you go to the layout model, you click on the Run Analysis, and you should be able to extract like the paragraphs, the sections, the table structure, as well as like selection marks and even like math formulas like from any type of your documents.
This is really cool. And so for clarity, this is any kind of documents, or what kind of documents are we talking about? Like just like text or other things?
Yes, they also be like Office files and HTML files.
So all sorts of goodness. Okay. And I know, so we're talking about RAG. Can you maybe spend a minute explaining to us like what RAG is and how it can be helpful? Because I'm trying to see if we can put these two concepts together.
Yeah, of course. This is a diagram of the RAG pattern, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Basically, when the user like ask a question through our like service, what you will do from the backend is use the query to relevant knowledge. Once you get the search result, you will combine the knowledge together with the query as part of the prompt to ask large language models and get the response. So this is how the Retrieval Augmented Generation works that can mitigate the limitation of purely using the large language models with like a hallucination without any reference to your answer.
And this is a really good pattern because it allows people to, when they're asking questions, to actually search for information that goes into the prompt, but that's not necessarily getting into the model. It's just something that goes into the prompt. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. And one of the biggest thing is like where you get all this like knowledge base. Most of the knowledge lives in document today, so that's why you would need the Azure AI Document Intelligence.
Yeah, and this is an important thing because I love how you brought this slide up with challenges in retrieval augmented generation. I get this question asked a lot about how to properly chunk the documents when you do indexing. It's kind of a challenge. Tell us about that.
Yeah, exactly. There have been a lot of questions asking about like how to do semantic chunking because one of the challenges is if you documents into like some arbitrary based on length limit, it could like break down the semantics from the document. So one of the example you can see is if you ask a question about the long table from the financial report, you can probably get the answer if the row shows up in the beginning, but if it's in later part of the table, because of the fixed length chunking, you will most likely not get the answer because the header of the table and the actual rows are separated in different chunks.
Exactly. And so now that we know what the problem is, everyone always asks me about the chunking strategy. Tell me about semantic chunking. You just put this slide up. Tell us how Azure AI Document Intelligence can help.
Sure. Yeah, as I just mentioned, Azure AI Document Intelligence can help you extract the content, the tables, and the document structure from different sources of the document. And what we offer later is like all these building blocks that can enable the customers to any type of semantic chunking. You can define your own rules, like based on paragraphs, based on section headings, or based on like figures or hierarchical structure to like chunk your document based on your business needs. But more importantly, if you don't want to bother with all these like different building blocks, we offer the capability of output to markdown format. This is a large language model friendly format, and you can easily also integrate with LangChain's markdown splitter to do the semantic chunking.
Ooh, do you have an example of how to do that?
Yes, let me show a quick demo. So this will be, I think I will just use the layout concept page. I just download the PDF, and this is, as you can see, a long document. What I'm going to do is to index this document using the recent integration we have done with the LangChain. So the code will just be very simple. You just need to import this Azure Document Intelligence Loader, and then load the document with the path file, your endpoint and keys, and then further chain that with the Markdown header splitter. with your defined headers to split on. And once that it is done, you will be able to get all the splits and further like embed that all these chunks and make that like indexed in your search database.
I
So
see.
I
And
can quick,
can
yeah,
you scroll? Oh, good. So you're going to show the code because this
yeah.
is actually directly inside of LangChain is what I'm seeing. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So you
That's
will
cool.
see the output. This is the actual splits or the chunks we did. And this is based on the section headings. You will see like from the metadata, okay, this is the header of the section.
That's really cool. And so now you're actually instead of getting some fixed window that you made and having to worry about overlap, you're getting semantic chunks that actually hopefully have meaning.
Yes, exactly. And
That's
in
cool.
this notebook, I also did one like with this like a fixed length chunking with some overlap. So I will use that later in my demo to show the difference.
Oh, I see. So you're doing the semantic one and you're doing just the regular, fixed chunk with overlap.
Yes, yes,
Got it.
exactly. Yeah, and in the notebook, I also pre-run that, and you should be able to like train all these different pieces together and ask a question. For example, I will ask the question about the input requirement. So, what type of document I should prepare for like a layout model to consume, and you will be able to get answer. Okay, we support all different file formats, including PDF, image, Office files, and HTML, and you will also get the detailed requirement about the dimensions, minimal and maximal dimensions. And if your PDF is locked, you should be able to like decrypt that before you send us.
That's really cool. So is there a way to make this work? Like, for example, if someone's using AI Studio, because I want to,
Yep.
how do you put this all together in something like AI Studio?
Yeah, of course. As you can see, like here, I have split the document into chunks, and later, like I also use LangChain actually to make the index. So
Hmm.
using the Azure AI search
Oh, I
to
see.
store that in the vector store. So this one is using the fixed length, and I've also done one for semantic to show how you can build a chat experience like about this document.
I love it. So at the same time, you're literally storing all of this stuff from LangChain directly into Azure AI Search.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Well, let's take a look.
Okay. Yeah, so now let's come to the Azure AI Studio, the playground. Basically, we are using add your data to enrich the result of the large language model. So I put some system message here to make sure this is focusing on the Q&A task. And I also add the data, which I just made. This one is a simple index. And there's another one that's use the semantic chunking result as the index. So let's start with the first one, the simple index. And the question I will be asked is, could you please illustrate the expected output of the JSON? Because we talk about detecting section headings, so I want to learn like what it looks like. And as you can see, the model can actually get the answer with
Mm,
some sample JSON output. But we want to make sure this is not like doing any of the guess or hallucination. So let's check the reference. So the reference is actually like a like fixed length chunk with some
mhm.
overlap. And if you see this chunk end up with some like incomplete JSON output in the chunk. So that's why you see we will tell you about like the actual correct answer later. But as you can see, if you infer from some incomplete chunks, you will probably get some like misunderstanding about like from the large language model.
100%.
Yeah,
So what does it look like with the good index?
sure. Let's look at the other one. So this one we use the semantic chunking index, and we put the same system message. And now let's ask the question again. What will be the expected outcome of the in the JSON then when there's a section heading detected? As you can see, so this one, we still have the row like of the paragraph detected as the section heading, the actual content, as well as like because we also give you the spans and the bounding regions, basically the bounding box of this paragraph. That one will also be useful when you build the actual RAG application. You can even like visualize where this paragraphs comes from the document. And let's further look at the citation here. this time, because we embed the whole section, so you see the JSON is complete and it is retrieving exactly the same thing from the original document. So that's like a showcase the difference when you are building a rag or compare with like a simple chunking. Semantic chunking will be make your answer more accurate.
That's pretty amazing. So, just a question about this stuff, because now that you're able to do semantic chunking, my sense is that there's probably more to be done. So, what do we have to look forward to in this space?
Sure, yeah, we keep pushing our model to help like with when you are building the rag pattern. So besides what we currently offer, like the section headings, paragraphs, tables, what we are currently working on is to enable customers also detecting the figures, diagrams or charts within a document. Because like if you think about manuals or like financial reports, there could be lots of information hidden in the figures. So what will come soon will be like we tell you which region is a figure in a document, and you can further like crop the image and send the image to like the GPTV or other models to understand the meanings of the figure. So that's one thing. And the other feature, which is also enhance the like the section detection, is we call it a hierarchical document structure analysis. Basically, like we not only telling you this is a section heading, but as you can see the different colors, these are the different layers of the sections. So you will be able to tell this is a section versus subsection versus like a title. So once you know the hierarchical structure, you will be like further make your semantic chunking more accurate. So that these are the two important features we are working on, and that should be able enable you build a even better rag with semantic chunking.
Well, this has been awesome. So, thank you so much. Where can people go to find out more?
Sure. Definitely get started like using our quick start with the studio aka.ms studio. So you will be able to explore all the capabilities, and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Awesome. And for the sample code, obviously, it's just right there, aka.ms, Doc Gen AI. So, make sure you do that. So, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Lou.
Yeah. Thank you, Seth.
And thank you so much for watching. We're learning all about how to transform your RAG and search with Azure AI Document Intelligence here on the AI Show. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully, we'll see you next time. Take care. All righty. That was amazing. So, Lou, here's a couple of questions I have for you. And then also for those that are watching, please get your questions going because Lou is the expert and she is here to answer questions. So, I'll ask a couple of questions and then, folks, get your questions times. There's no dumb questions. I'll have dumb answers. All the smart answers come from Lou. Have you seen people use this in applications? And if so, what's the success rate?
The success rate, it really depends on the document like you are indexing, like building in the regs. So I cannot say okay they this is the 80% or 90% of the accuracy, but we do see a very positive feedback from our customers like using this pattern, because as I show in the demo, you see like it will not do the arbitrary chunks and arbitrary splits, so you will definitely get more accurate answers. And when you want to measure the success rate, there are a lot of evaluation method you can leverage to like evaluate your actual application.
That's cool. And then another question I have is when people are doing this, how often one of the strategies that I've heard about is you obviously need to re-index documents as new files come in and etc. How often should someone reevaluate their indexing strategy and maybe even include different things like parts of paragraphs or just tables, etc.? What is your recommendation on that?
Re-indexing, right, you mean?
Yes,
How often they should it yeah, I think because like you rag is just a pattern and you build that into your application. So it's your like in your application when you probably you need to like monitor like when it's not performing well, and sometimes even like using the semantic chunking, and you may still need to fine tune some other part of the rag pattern. So you probably like set up some monitoring and getting some alert once you get like inaccurate result, or like you think there's still like improvement area, then you can further like debug and like reevaluate your indexing strategy.
Sounds like data science to me. Here's a question from Adam McGinnis. Let's see if we can. This is coming from LinkedIn. If we pre-process lots of documents using Ada and store in a vector DB, what is the pros cons of vectoring the prompt with GPT 3.5 or 4 instead of Ada again? Not sure I understand that one again.
Yeah.
But my sense is that Lou, like, I love the way that you said, "Hey, try something, evaluate it, monitor it, and then do make changes based upon that result." Would you say it's fair to say that with vectoring you should do the same kind of thing?
Yeah, I think so. You need to like evaluate and compare the different approaches, because there is no like obvious correct answer. So it may work like one approach in your application, and but you need to like experiment and try it out and like evaluate it.
That's amazing. So, Lou, any final words that you have for folks that are building these kinds of applications, like rules of thumb, things that you've figured out that will help them shortcut when they're making these kinds of applications?
Leverage the capability we offer as much as possible. I think
Yeah.
that will make your life much easier. And of course, RAG is not just like semantic chunking, and it's an end-to-end application. So there could be all different pieces. Like you need to hook up them together, and you need to debug and like even like monitor like the end-to-end result. So I think doing the semantic chunking with document intelligence is just one step, but it's important because it's the first, most very first step. So make that step as much improved as possible, and then like once you get this part almost right, and you can then spend the rest of your like focus on the later steps like in rec. Yeah.
And I love that because I've always told people large language models are not databases. They're more like language calculators. And so what you put into the prompt is actually super important. And I love that
Yes.
that we have these cool things to do. So the question is, can we post a link to the demo? We can absolutely do that. The link to the demo is actually right here. This is the example code right here. You can go and download it and take a look at it. Lou, thank you so much, my friend. And maybe you're off to bed because it's super late. It's almost 1 o'clock for you. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
Isn't Lou just the best? She's the best. By the way, did did you folks like that goofy music I had for because our new logo stuff is like super cool. Like here, let me show you. So the show for today looks like this. It's like very 1985 inspired, and so Cassie and I were looking for music for our logo, and we landed on this. It's like it's like 1985 infomercial. I just love it. Oh my gosh. So good. All right. All right. So let's get back to what we're doing today. Thank you so much for Lou. We will post that video in its entirety so you can just watch that unsullied by everything else. The second part I was to talk about the Microsoft AI tour. Let's see what we got here. Look, we just merged a pull request. It formerly called Envision, actually. Let me put some background music on here so folks can. I'll put it super low. Okay, so this is a ton of stops. Oh, site update available. Refresh. Love it. So notice there's one in Sydney, Australia, February 7th, which is 2 days from now. So if you're in the Australia area, Sydney, Australia's huge. So if you're in the Sydney area, February 7th, there's some good stuff happening there. There was one in New York that happened 2 weeks ago. I was at that one. There's one in London, UK, that happened, a couple months ago. Mumbai just happened, I think, last week. Wow. Paris is happening March 12th. So if you're in Paris and would like to meet, let me know, because I am going to be at that one. And then Bengaluru, India. That one happens on Thursday in Bengaluru. And like I said, I'm leaving today, literally right after the show. I'm gonna hop off and do that. And then I'll also be at the Berlin stop to talk to developers about how to build these kinds of applications. So if you're anywhere in those areas, please let me know. Now, if you want to get to know someone awesome and we work together, Tokyo, Japan, Cassie is going to be there to talk to everyone about this stuff. And when I say, quote, this stuff, we're going to be showing this application here, Contoso Chat. And so there's a ton of stuff in here. In fact, this is the workshop that we're doing for folks, and so we do it live, and you don't need a subscription or anything. You can just show up and do this, and this is worth the cost of admission. And you're like, I thought it was free. Yeah, your time is the most valuable thing, and so uh, we show you how to build this stuff from scratch. And I want to get all your feedback, because obviously there is a brand new product. There's some wrinkles in there. I'd love to get your thoughts on how to make this stuff better. And so feel free to come and do that there. So there's a ton of stuff there that you can take a look at. And Nitya, by the way, has been working on some of this. I built the original prompt flow, but then Cassie added a bunch of improvements to that prompt flow, because the first prompt flow I made was really dumb. And she fixes it, shows you how to fix it. Nitya did a really good job of documenting this stuff. And then we have folks like Pamela Fox, who built some amazing infrastructure so you can stand all of this stuff up using Bicep. She's amazing. And so it was a family effort to get all of this stuff out there. So that's what I'm going to be showing in Bengaluru. It's also going to be shown in Sydney and all the other places. So that's what's going on there. So I'm pretty excited about that. There we go. I know it's so dumb. It's like Nintendo music. Absolutely. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Love the new look, but had to search you out of the channel. Microsoft should put an announcement on the old one. Yeah, so that's a good question. We recently moved to a new AI channel, because at MS Dev there were so many things. We were trying to put all the AI stuff in one place, and so feel free to subscribe to this channel. We'll be putting up videos ad hoc, as well as having our standard AI show. But yes, Nick, we should put an announcement on the old one or something. Yeah, that's a good feedback. Yeah, it sounds like an old video. I know. It's so good. Like, listen, my face is covered. Go down to the mall today and get your Nintendo 16-bit brand new out of the box. You're gonna love it. Man, those were the good old days. Remember when video games were just hard? Anyone ever play Battletoads? That stuff was hard. Could we get a future? Here's a question from Nick, and let me remove my screen here. Can we get a future demo of deploying locally created flows into Azure AI Studio? Yes, Carol, if you're watching, we should have a second half where this is done. In fact, in that repo that you're looking at, Cassie does a really good job of showing you how to do that, but also with like GitHub Actions. And so all of that stuff is a little we're still working on some of that stuff. And so if it's rough around the edges, tell us, because I tell them it's rough around the edges all the time. But the thing is, Adam, and I'll tell you this because it's important. When I tell the product team stuff, they hear from me every single day, and they're like, "Oh, it's just Seth." So my stuff counts like for 1 vote, but Adam, yours counts for like 10. If I'm like, hey, Adam McGinnis is saying, yeah, please do that. And then El Gato Lupa. Qué placer de verte. Gracias por venir. Here's a question from Pradeep. If the document is very large, say I input a 2,000-page PDF file, will semantic chunking be effective in chunking the data and retrieve how the semantic chunking is applied based on topics or for the entire document? That's a great question. So the semantics of the document chunking, have to do with the semantics of the document itself. So, for example, you could do chunking based on paragraphs. You can do chunking based on headings. You can do chunking based on tables, etc. And that's the power of what Lou was showing, because traditional chunking methods look at word counts and overlaps. That's just standard. Semantic chunking looks at the semantics of the document, not necessarily the semantics of the content. And that's important. And so if you need to do even more chunking semantically, you could semantically chunk based upon the semantics of the document. And then you go further into the meaning of each of those particular semantic chunks. So that's the beauty of that, Pradeep. And so that's a really good question, a very insightful one. And so hopefully that's helpful. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Attended the San Francisco AI tour. Best one day spent. So make sure you show up to the ones in the other cities if you can, because we don't record them just because we show up, and hopefully Amelia can tell you, because they're not recorded. I just take like a lot of liberties to make sure, because here between us girls and the wall and boys, um, when we record stuff and things are recorded, we have to talk to the audience, but we also have to talk to the video, because the video lasts a lot longer. And so when there is no video, the only focus I have are the people that are literally sitting in the room. And so I will say, what's bothering you about this stuff? What are your questions? What are your concerns? And then I go through the talk based upon that. And so maybe Amelia can tell you that's exactly what I do. And it's very different. It's very different than like what you see on the video, because like I said, the video lasts a lot longer. And so we have to be more, prescriptive for general audiences. But then when I'm there, it's literally just for people that show up. So that's a good one. Rag is cool. Absolute. Oh, sorry. Janice Q number 7. He's like, oh, wrong one. Twitch, hello? Janice Q's here. Hello? He's the only one there for Twitch. Thank you, sir, for showing up. Yeah. Remember when video games didn't have had rewind option? Yes. Remember back in the 80s. I gotta put this on just to remind, like, make sure before you return your videos to Blockbuster to rewind, or we will charge you the full quarter. Be kind. Rewind. Oh man, remember that stuff? Now I'm feeling old. Like there's like Gen Zers watching this thinking like, what the heck is he talking about? Here's a LinkedIn user. Seth Live Adlib is the best. Goes, yes, it's true. It's true. Like I'm saying, like I really like, it's really just really about whoever's in the audience. And here's someone, Ravi, 100% agree. Love that you brought the audience into the conversation at the AI tour in New York. Yeah, like I said, like because it's not recorded, it's really just about who's in the room, and so I really try to make an effort. It's really just like whatever I'm doing now, but like you get to ask questions directly. Okay, so it is 9:05. Usually we go to the 10:30 hour, but I want to make sure I get to the airport on time. And so if you're in Bengaluru in India, make sure you stop by to the AI tour. Um, oh man, here. Gato Lupa, the best video game era when you only had 3 lives with no progress. Oh my gosh, my kids, when they play video games, my wife is literally like, just turn it off. And they're like, but we have to save our progress. And she's like, I remember the day when you just had 3 lives and it was over. Like games like Zelda 2. Like that game takes like 9 hours if you're gonna do it all the way, and you could not save it. And now I play it on the Switch sometimes just to reminisce, and you can literally save like checkpoints. So if like that skeleton circle bubble in the castle hits you, you could just like start again. It's really funny. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my opener music here just to round out. Next week on the AI show, if you are so inclined to come, we have Shanae Winter. She may not be there in person, but we recorded a two-parter with her on how to build your own Copilot with Azure AI Studio. We do talk a little bit about. We also talk a little bit about how to deploy these things. And so make sure you tune in next week, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Build your own Copilot with Azure AI Studio with Seth Juarez and Shanae Winter. She is fantastic. I just want to put that out there. As always, we're grateful with the time you spend with us. We're so grateful you could be here with us. If there's any topics you'd like us to discuss or be helpful about, please let us know. And please like and subscribe to this page so that we can give you information about when we're doing the next show and why. And like I said, this is all for you. We have some ideas about how AI should work, and we will present them to you. The field is changing quickly. We're excited. We're currently in planning for what we're going to show you at Microsoft Build, which is coming up in a couple of months, I think. I don't know when the dates are. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. So thank you so much for watching this, the AI Show Live. Hopefully we'll see you next week with Shanae. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.